Another red open for the week for the crypto markets as well as the stock market. So in today's show, we'll have a look at where the major levels of support are. We'll also talk about Ethereum, right? Is Ethereum the easiest buy right now? You can actually vote in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And this is currently the picture of the crypto market, right? You're currently seeing a sell-off. I think it's got a lot to do also with the stock market. If you look at the stock market heat map in the close of Friday last week, well, this is what it looks like, right? Pretty brutal. And you have a lot of big earnings coming up. NVIDIA earnings coming out on Wednesday. Obviously, one of the major ones that a lot of people are looking at because NVIDIA's got such a massive market cap and drives the overall stock market. Stock market now in fear, right? Back into fear. Probably could easily see this ticking over into extreme fear if you continue to see any of that downward price action over there. So that is your stock market. It is still high highs and high lows when it comes to the S&P 500, but a big red candle over there. Same thing for NASDAQ over there. Big red candle over there. Dow Jones, big red candle, but still, again, putting in those high lows, you can make the argument possibly, this is a series of the first start of lower highs over there on the daily time frame. You can look at as well the rest of the crypto stocks out there. MicroStrategy really, to me, looks like it's probably top for the cycle, right? You could easily see this continuing towards the downside. Right now, it's caught at mid-range support. So if it is to bounce, it's going to be a very important zone. If it does fail this level, and you have a look over here towards the last major low, 284, if you start to take out that level, well, then you're probably coming down to the range quarterly, which is going to be about 220 for MicroStrategy over there. And then, of course, if you look at the MSTX, which is MicroStrategy on 2x leverage, well, this one you're getting heavily wrecked on if you are currently in that trade. Tesla also fast approaching our long-term target level. We put this in ever since the deviation at the exact top over there, and that's targeting the fair value gap around that, just sub 300, right? Around, to get precise, about 292 is going to be the area of interest for Tesla, where we are looking for a major bounce. So for those of you that are interested, keep your eye on the ball when it comes to that. And then you got Coinbase as well, breaching now the neckline of that big cup and handle formation, which of course is not a good sign. Losing that level does mean that now you can start to look down towards the next major zone, which is about 209, right? We'll also have a quick look at NVIDIA. So what is NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA is still very much range bound over here as well. So kind of looks similar to the stock market, already down towards these low levels. And putting that in correlation, that would be NVIDIA down to about 114. So we'll keep an eye out on this, especially coming into Wednesday. A lot of things for the traditional markets at the moment, because you can see as well, remember, we have that all-important week for gold, right? Why is it an all-important week? Well, it's coming onto the TD sequential 9 top, right? What does that mean? That means that you're looking for either a pause or a reverse in the trend, right? If it's a pause in the trend, you're looking for sideways price action for anywhere between 1 to 4 candles or 1 to 4 candle correction. The point is, when you look at these TD sequential 9 tops, it just diminishes the risk to reward of looking for higher prices, right? You're looking for a pause or a reversal. And then we're seeing the same thing. Remember, it was on the 3-month scale. You also have the TD sequential 9 top, as well as on the massive time frame, which is going to be a yearly. You're on a TD sequential 9 top. So it's going to be very interesting times leading into the next couple of weeks, months, and even years for gold. DXY, we had a beautiful rejection over there. We've seen the series of low lows and lower highs and the potential for that major deviation over the top side over here. So we'll keep an eye out on this. I think that there will be volatility around the DXY, especially leading into major earnings coming out this week and the stock market, right? So let's keep an eye on that. Bitcoin dominance still continuing towards the upside. We did speak about this. We said that the most likely outcome over here is that this fair value gap is probably going to bounce price, and then we need to look for any sort of lower highs. Otherwise, it's probably going to be trend continuation, which is going to hurt the altcoin market. And that's exactly what you're seeing, right? You're getting that massive pain with very few coins that are outperforming Bitcoin. Maybe in the short term, one that you can look at has been Sonic, right? Phantom rebranded to Sonic. That's been one in the short term. And the only other one that looks relatively decent to me, but it could very quickly start to turn over, is Sui, right? That's the other one. And then we can also look to ETH BTC, right, which shows potential signs of reversal. It's not enough to suggest that that's happening yet, but that's what today we'll have a look at a little bit more. So again, guys, smash the like button. It really helps to get our show content out there. And let's have a look at what's happening on the USDT dominance. So USDT dominance trading in alignment with that Bitcoin dominance. This is still, really at these high levels where it starts to wreck the crypto market. If it does begin to break out of these levels, well, ultimately you need to look towards the previous tops over here for any sort of weakness in this trend. If you break above this wick over here, this is going to cause absolute carnage within the altcoin sector as well. And you can even expect that Bitcoin will come down towards some of those lower targets that we've outlined. So for now, it's choppy, but if you have to pick a side, it's more bullish than bearish on the USDT dominance. If it is more bullish than bearish, that means that the chances are very, very high that you'll probably see continued downward pressure within the rest of the market. If you are looking for a place to short the market, there is a link in the description below. You can go through over here. There's Blowfin over here, no KYC, and you're getting up to 50%, massive, right? 50% or half your money back in cash, right? The trading, at least trading fees is coming back into your account, which you can use in the form of USDT. It's even withdrawable, right? You can withdraw it. And there's a competition, the Ace of Trades, right? $5.6 million prize pool currently running, where you can get yourself a massive prize pool over here if you do win that competition. 10 days left, right? 10 days left to go. Use the link in the description below if you do want to join. All right, quickly having a look at Bitcoin before we do get into ETH and the other altcoins over here. Bitcoin's still holding up. This is the key level, right? We can see it over here. It is rising each and every week, but that is 90,279. Bulls are still failing to close prices at high levels. Of course, we are still within a choppy range. We're in a no trade zone. I'll show that to you on the daily time frame. I've said if you're a cautious trader, it's a no trade zone until you leave that range. If you're an aggressive trader, well, we have to look to the low time frames to get those aggressive trades, right? So bulls do need to break out of the top side of the trading range on the weekly at about 104,000. That will turn up your stochastic RSI, and that will probably drive the next major move. There is a lot of support over here, which is a good sign. If we look also at the 30 MA over here, this is of course rising as well each and every single week, which is now starting to catch up and align with the weekly support zones with your 21 EMA, the bottom of the range low support, and your stop and reversal indicator over there. So you got at least triple confluence in that region. We have very, very low volatility, suggesting still the big move is coming. You need to get your directional bias correct, right? So this is the zone that we had been focused on for quite some time. We spoke about this. This area over here is essentially your no trade zone, right? You're chopping, trying to find where the next directional bias is going to be, right? So price is trying to hover around this region over here, and every time it tries to reclaim that all-important high volume profile, 97,700, it keeps rejecting, right? We had a chance over there leading into Friday, and then, of course, we got the Bybit hack news, which dropped price below. That was the first promising sign to suggest that bulls were going to take over. If the Bybit thing does blow over, which I think very well could be the case, then you would expect that this should resume and eventually start to recapture this. And then we were targeting at least up into this zone over here, which is going to be weakness, potential weakness coming into the golden pocket at $102,000 to $103,000 for Bitcoin. And then we're going to look for the next major high low. So that was kind of the base case over there, right? If you, again, continue to hold below this region and just can't get back above, remember, bulls and bears each take turns, right? Like a pendulum. We speak about that, where bulls have their chance. If they can't run with it, then the pendulum swings, and then the bears will have their chance. That pendulum will once again swing. So time is running out. Bulls do need to get back above here, reach up to this target level over here, and then bears, the pendulum will swing into the bears' favor, and then hopefully you get the high low coming back into the mid-range. If bulls cannot get price up over here by the time that pendulum swings, which is going to be coming very, very soon, what that means is you could end up seeing bears take over and sweep price below into this low region, at which point they miss that, right? They miss that level, and then this becomes a major buy zone. So those are the at least longer term plans that I'm looking at over the next 2 weeks or so. So this is the long trade. It's very, very simple. As soon as you take out that wick over there, you're out of that trade. And then you can say that bears have taken over, and they're probably going to drop price down into this $83,000 region, right? That would be the expectation if bulls do lose the 18th of February low, which for Bitcoin is coming in at $93,333, right? That's the important level that you want bulls to hold up on. Okay. Continuous rejections of the 50 and 200 EMA, short-term bears remain in control, holding price down. These are the zones you need to get back above, right? You need to now get above the Bybit breakdown level with the Bybit hack. You need to get above that breakdown level. Volume still remains low. It is starting to tick towards the upside, but this is essentially a downtrend, lower lows and lower highs. It's not looking good, right? You got others against BTC still holding this trend line, and we said maybe you get a short-term bounce, but if you do fail this level, you have to look down towards the lower region at 0.08, which would be pretty brutal. That would mean that altcoins against Bitcoin could still potentially drop a lot, right? That would be another 42%. That would be absolutely catastrophic. I'm sure, even more people would leave the space at that point, right? So as per Marty Party over here, if you do look at the on-chain activity, what you're seeing is Binance flushing the Trump token. They sold 4.7% of their 1 billion Trump holdings, now down to 879 million. And they're also dumping ETH, right? So you can see dumping ETH and dumping the Trump coin, right? And because of that, you are seeing ETH come down once again. So ETH BTC ratio, here it is, all the way down at extreme levels. Again, it has proven to be more effective, at least within this crypto cycle, to be somebody that waits for confirmations as opposed to trying to front run and catch the exact pinpoint bottoms or tops, right? Trying to buy the bottoms or sell the tops. It's proven to be much more effective within this crypto cycle to simply remain patient. If you want to remain patient, nothing changes over here. You need to play out this trajectory, right? You need to break above some of these key levels. You need to get back above really 0.03752. You can make the argument that this is probably a super key level. If you look at all the prior times, you got support, resistance, flip back into support over here. And now it's been reinforced with time, 1,498 days. You came back to hit that level and you started to put in a bounce. Now, I would expect that there's a possibility that you could come back and revisit some of this wick. And that might be what's going to be taking place this week. So I think if you do want to be a bottom catcher, it's probably best to at least wait for this ETH BTC ratio to come back down and backfill some of that wick, which is going to be at around that. I'll give you the exact number in a bit, but around that 0.02 level. So let's actually work out the exact number. If we go through and we just expand this, zoom in a little bit, and we work out where would that 50% mark be. Let's use our magnet as well to really get it precise over there. Let's put that in. Let's grab our 50% over here and let's extend that to the right-hand side, right? There it is. Okay, so that's the level essentially that you're looking for, 0.02533. If you start to see ETH BTC coming back into this level and then finding some support, maybe at that point, that's where the damage is done, right? The pain should reach its end. Whenever that may come into play, it could probably only be in not August, probably somewhere around March or April, right? So I'll be looking at something like that. I think that if you are wanting to get into ETH and be a bottom buyer, that's probably the best bottom buy unless you bought this exact wick low over there. But still, you got to be very, very cautious within this cycle, moving in and out of Bitcoin into other altcoins, right? The other one that looks semi-okay, again, is going to be Sui BTC. I did do a show on this over the course of the weekend. On Saturday, you can see holding that moving average support over there. That's your 200 moving average on the daily time frame. 50 is still coming down. But nevertheless, you are still holding up over there. So I think if you're using this as an invalidation, which would be that wick low over there, this is the potential for low, high, low, next high, low. And it's attempting to reverse this trend over here on Sui BTC. Phantom BTC, also known as, of course, now Sonic, it still has some work to do, right? This is the other one in the short term that's been absolutely phenomenal, right? It's been really, really good in the short term, but for the higher time frames to really begin to switch over here, we need to see a bit more from this. So again, pay attention, keep your eye on the price over here. If we do get some beautiful pullbacks, maybe into this moving average over here, this is going to be one area of interest. I'll update everybody in Whale Room when that does actually happen. And then you got the Sui USD pair as well. I think that, strong invalidation over here, loose invalidation would be at about $2.93. And if you want a super tight invalidation, you really don't want to break below today's low. Like you want that to be the low of the day for Sui. And then you want to see continuation onwards and upwards. You can see a lot of the other coins are starting to battle over here. This would have been, if you were looking for the long trade on hype, that's what it would have looked like. You have now broken that, right? This is pretty significant. This is something that you have to take pretty seriously. A break of that does suggest that you're probably going to be coming down towards the previous month's low at the very, very least, and that is for hyperliquid. That would be down to about 1850, right? Okay, what other ones can we look at? Solana also not looking too hot at the moment. You can see continuing to mark down, right? You got your downsloping trend line, lower lows, lower highs, continuous rejections, rejection of the previous month's low over there. And ultimately, this one's looking bearish. If you focus on this as your overall trading range, I'm going to highlight it. This being your range high in Solana, this being your mid-range, and this being your range low. The failure of the mid-range level and the continuous bearish price action would suggest that you're probably going to come down for the range low. Unfortunately, the trajectory at which this is coming down over here means that, you know, yes, you could get spikes along the way towards the upside, but if they're met with lower highs, expect you're probably going to come into this. And I don't expect that it's just going to touch this level. I would expect that Solana is probably going to sweep this level, right? So the question is, where do those wick lows go into, right? Possibly that $100 territory. And then if you get the deviation back into the trend, that's where the opportunity comes into play. So that is the truth of the matter, right? A lot of the altcoins look very, very, very bad. We can have a look as well at 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓. Same story, right? Rejecting off that previous month's low, failing now, starting to lose once again the critical and major support. So a lot of pain over here. It really looks like the safest place to be in USDT or at most in Bitcoin, right? In the current market conditions. Okay, let me know in the comments what else you want to have a look at. We'll have a look at a bunch of coins over here. Let's look at the Ethereum USD pair because I don't think we did that. So this would be the Ethereum USD pair. In a nutshell, I am going to be taking a bit of a chance over here, looking for some positions. This is my very, very simple strategy, which I'll outline in more detail with the whale room members when we do our live Zoom session. Make sure that you join for that. That's going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. What I'm looking to do essentially is to pick up a bit of spot ETH within this region over here. So around that mid-level of that daily wick, which is around that 2,500 mark. Simply just picking up a bit of spot ETH, right? Then I want to use the at least inverse perpetuals and start to build a bit of a leverage position. Of course, using risk management. If you do want to learn more about how I do this, join into Whale School, right? We start actually in 7 hours. If you do sign up to Blowfin over here, that's your ticket to get in. Use the user ID. Once you sign up, they'll verify you using the Blowfin user ID. All you have to do is put your email address in here after you've signed up to Blowfin, click sign up, and then I'll actually cover this during the sessions. But what I'm looking to do again is basically scale in, right? Scale into a position over here, taking some of those, at least the ETH spot that I have and margin long it within this region, building the position bigger and bigger as we approach towards the wick low over there. Why? Well, because we never know with 100% certainty where you're going to find the bottom, right? It might be there, you know, you might come a little bit lower like that. We have to see, right? You could range within this environment for quite some time, but essentially I am thinking that longer term, this is going to be an opportunity. I've seen in the comments, some of you are asking, you know, do I think that the cycle is over? I don't, right? I can quickly pull this up over here. Just give me 1 second and I'll bring this into your guys' view. I need to find it over here quickly. So do I think the cycle is over? No, I do not, right? I still think that we're following more or less in accordance with what we saw back in 2017. So yes, it's deviating. Absolutely. It's definitely deviating right now. But if we put on 2017 or 2021 cycle, which was the end of those bull runs, I do still think that we more or less following intact with this, right? I think that if Bitcoin does start to clear out some of the more important low levels, for example, if we start to, you know, hold multiple candles, I think that a wick below this 21 EMA is still part of the course. You can do that, but you don't want to spend time under it. If you start to spend time under the 21 exponential moving average and it starts to angle towards the downside, that's kind of the point where you do have to question, maybe this is becoming more of a deviation and the cycle, you know, could be over at least for the foreseeable future. I don't think that's happening. I think everything is following pretty much the way that it has in the prior cycles, and you will get some sort of a catch-up phase soon, especially when gold starts to pause or possibly even put in a bit of a pullback. So we'll pay attention to that over the coming days and weeks, right? All right. Also, guys, hacks are out of control. Please be careful out there. Again, I do want to just remind you, they do offer a lot of benefits for the viewers at 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧. They arrange special deals for you. If you look over here, you're getting 62% off of a 2-year plan with NordVPN, right? Actually 73% if you click over here. So that's 73%. It's the price of a cappuccino per month, literally, to protect your IP. Stay safe out there, right? Stay safe out there. The hacks are out of control. I've been seeing more and more, not just the Biber thing, actually beyond that. All right, let me know what else, guys. Let me know what else, if there's anything else that we can have a look at for you. We'll take a few more chart requests. Just drop them in the comment section. AI16Z, SPX 6900. Sure, let's have a look at some of those. I would imagine they've been pretty heavy hit. Let's start with SPX 6900. And let's just go over there to crypto. Okay, let's go to SPX 6900 here. All right, so it's broken the parabola, not looking good. Set in a lower high, clear topping candles over there. It has come all the way back down. Let's clean this up a little bit over here. So this is, if you pull up the Wall Street cheat sheet, you'll see that it looks very, very similar to that, right? Complacency bounce, or you can make the argument complacency bounce. I think it's probably going to come deeper into this SR flip region over here. I know I don't have all the price issue over here, but I think if you pull it up on DEX tools, this is a pretty significant area at the lows over here. If it loses that, it probably goes down a lot more. Okay, AI16Z, let's have a look over here. Down 4.7%. This has played out the Wall Street cheat sheet perfectly. Euphoria, complacency bounce, leads into the whole anger period over here. Now you're probably going to start to go through that depression phase. So you're looking for a ranging market on these things. It could probably sweep those lows, but overall you're looking for a ranging market. So I do think you could easily sweep those lows into that depression phase. All right. Okay, Pulse Chain. Yeah, we can have a look at Pulse Chain. I don't know when last I pulled this up, but let's check. Pulse Chain PLS, right? It is PLS. I don't see it coming up over here. Let's just PLS USD maybe. Okay, I'll try again. Pulse Chain. Let's try. Okay, as Pulse Chain, Pulse Swap. There are so many, guys. PLS USD. Maybe it's this one. Okay, we'll bring it up another day. I'll bring it up, let's see, towards the end. Maybe I'll have a look on DEX tools just now. Okay, what else have we got? Radium. Sure, let's have a look at Radium. Okay, Radium USDT. Have I not charted this one already? Let's have a look on Binance. Okay, there's Radium. Man, that's crazy. That was a key level, super key level. Look at that candle today. Very brutal, unbelievable. That's bad. Yearly open rejection comes straight down, taking out this whole range now. Where to next is the question, right? Okay, I'd be looking over here to next major support. You got a little bit of support coming in at about 250 over there. After that, this is pretty much going to be your mid-range, or so you can see that prior top over there. So if you are trading this all as a trading range, this would be the new trading range. Let's see how that lines up. So just quickly using our fib tool, pretty close, right? Pretty close. So range high to range low, 50% level. We can make it a little bit more exact. That's your next trading range that you're going to be looking at. So major support, 250. Okay, XRP. So we can have a look at XRP USDT. Okay, I think XRP is kind of very similar to ETH in the sense that you may come back to capture some of this inefficiency over here. So targeting down towards near the previous month's low. I think you could easily see it sweep back down into this region over here. Something like that, and then possibly start to reaccumulate. It does have quite a strong trading range with major support around that $2.05. Okay, so that's for XRP. That would be my expectation. Possibly sweep down one more time into about $2.17. I think that would probably be a decent zone, I think, to try and pick some up if you do think it's going to expand one more time. All right, cool. Let's have a look. So yeah, we can have a look at Bearer Chain. Quickly, bearer chain, where is this? Bearer. Here it is. Okay, so still holding up. Actually not looking too bad. This is a trade that we dropped in whale room. It came super close to stopping out over here. So we planned this ahead of time. Okay, while price was all the way up here. We were looking at the fair value gap, price coming down into the zone over here. You can see tested the fair value gap all the way down into the bottom. I wanted to be pretty greedy on the entry coming into this orange section over here, which you've now got officially. What I would do, though, is I would immediately move the stops up. Basically, at least move it into that region over there. If it does start to take out those lows, you want to cut this position as quick as possible. If this shows any signs of setting in a lower high around this region or rejecting from the middle of that fair value gap, I would pretty much stop out at break even, right? That's what I would be looking at on bearer chain, right? You did get a reaction from the fair value gap, but it swept below, right? I would have wanted to see a reaction rather off this zone over here. So you wanted to see follow through from there. Instead, you had the follow through, immediately rejected, came down very close to stopping out over there. I would almost even say just move the stops into break even over here based on the trajectory of how this has come down. This could very easily do this, right? And continue to bleed through. Okay, grass. I heard grass was pumping the other day. I don't know, is that true? Let's have a look. Grass USDT. All right. Grass USDT. I still think I have my grass tokens somewhere on my old laptop. I should have a look at those at some point. Yeah, not much to say. Let's go. Maybe it should be on the daily over here and just get a bit of a better look. It's just been range bound, right? Range low, range high, just chopping about. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Needs to get above 250 to have any sort of signs of strength. All right, Beam. We can have a look at Beam. Guys, most of these alts are going to be getting slaughtered, especially against Bitcoin. Beam down 5%. Look at that. I mean, it looks absolutely terrible. To be honest with you, just absolutely shocking. It's getting killed. Jasmy. We can have a look at Jasmy. Jasmy USDT. Jasmy. Here it is. Okay, also pretty brutal sell-off over here. It started to look like a decent chart at one point, but it's not looking great right now. All I can say is that's kind of your major point over here. And I actually think that price will come back deeper into the zone over here before actually running 0.016. Okay, that's your key level. If it loses that, it's probably going to bleed out all the way down to 0.0075. I really think you don't want to be long-term holders of any of these types of things. This is, you're looking for a short-term trade opportunity. You play the trade and you move on. You don't want to be holding this stuff for the long term. Okay, Brett. Let's see if there's been any. I saw there was a massive 30% pump, but you get these dead cat bounces on things like Brett quite easily. See what I mean? After a strong sell-off like that, you can easily get a move from there to there, 60% move, right? And now it's starting to bleed out again. So unfortunately, it does look like Brett is probably going to come all the way down to this low region over here. That could be another 33 to 35% down. Let's see. GOAT, same thing, right? Brutal, dead, straight down. 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗧, also lost the trend line, coming straight down towards these lows probably. That is another 48% down. I think that most of these coins are just going to bleed down into wherever their major supports are. And in some instances, we've already seen some of them do that, and they actually bleed straight through that. So that's what you have to be aware of. These are incredibly risky, right? We've seen things. I'm not saying that that 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗧 is going to do this, but we have seen things do this, right? Where it comes towards a support, and you can't expect miracles. You can't expect V-shaped recoveries out of there. You can see that there's this has had a major fundamental change. As soon as it lost that key level, which was the previous month's low, it's straight down, right? Okay. All right. WIF, sure, we can have a look at WIF as well. I think it's going to probably look very, very similar to the rest of these. So WIF. All right, and there it is, right? Straight downtrend. This is what I'm talking about. Straight downtrend coming into key support, and then it just pretty much bleeds through. You wanted to see the reaction over there. So as per the little LARP lines over here, you wanted to see the break over there and then the reclaim of the early open if there was going to be any sign of strength, but instead it just continued to bleed out. Now it's probably going to do the full retrace all the way down. You can look down towards these regions over here. This is going to be your next major support on WIF, which means that WIF could potentially, and unfortunately Solana is not doing well, so it doesn't help the case for memes that are on Solana, 38% down. I do think, however, when all is said and done and there is an altcoin recovery, these things will probably pump again, right? A lot. And therefore it becomes a major opportunity. But that's not enough of an excuse to encourage people to hold, forever. Especially if, let's say, if you're somebody closer to break even now, by some chance, you fully round trip this, I'd probably rather just take the profit or take the capital out at break even. All right, Rune. Let's have a look at Rune. I'm also curious about this one. I know that there are still some people calling for 0 in Rune, which is wild, but let's see. What do the charts say? Look, it's been brutal, right? This is your old reaccumulation range that led to the big move up. Now you're hanging around there again. There's no real volume or momentum in this, right? So again, I'm not even for a short-term trade, I wouldn't be interested in this. There's just nothing going on there. For an investment, for a longer-term swing trade, you need to hold this for a long time. It needs to form a massive new reaccumulation range, similar to what you saw over here. It's very rare that things will just kind of, V-shape out of here. You don't see charts that look like that. Okay. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what some of these coins look like. Let's see Injective. How's Injective looking? Here it is, Injective. Okay, again, you wanted to see the reaction at this zone over here. You wanted to, your retest into that. You wanted to see the big move up. Instead, you just got the straight down candle over here. And if this begins to reject from the previous month's low, like we've seen on some of the other coins, you do have to look down to the next level, which is, again, I know it's brutal. It's not to say this will happen, right? Remember, we're just trading the markets and seeing where the next major key zones are. So a major rejection from this level, if it did lead into a capitulation down on Injective, could be another 44% down. You're talking about $8.50. Where does it negate this? Always have an invalidation, a validation, and an invalidation. Really, you need to break back above the previous month's open, right? You need to get above that. That was your breakdown level, which means you need to see this above $20. Otherwise, it's in the middle of no man's land at the moment. It's either you buy it above $20 or you buy it at $8.60. There's no point in getting into this, into Injective at these key levels. So Phantom, again, USD, in terms of the USD pair, still showing strength over here, looking really, really good. Okay, I said that, I would be willing to miss this trade over here. Let's go into the 4 hour. We were already in the trade. We took our profits over here near the highs. So when it started to deviate the previous month's high, I closed the position over there and I said, if I am to get back in, I'm going to be looking for a trade or for this to pull back at least back down to the golden pocket as well as the previous month's mid and previous yearly open. So showing relative strength right now. Could it be that this starts to take out these highs? Absolutely. In order to confirm that, I need to see daily closes above 93, right? Daily closes above 93, and we can say that maybe this was just a reaccumulation high-low, and this thing's going to keep pumping. But it's had a big move, right? It's had a big move for sure. From the low to the high, this has already done 215. Where did we take the trade? I think we took it from here to here. So in Whale Room, we got the trade from here to here. That was about a 73% move. Everything is in there, right? If you guys do want to jump into Whale Room, all the information is in here. We can also quickly look at the deltas. Bitcoin negative, ETH negative, Solana very negative over there, Pepe negative, WIF negative. Only thing that's green today is NEAR. Remember to jump into the Captain's Take section if you do want, if you do want the information in terms of all the trades. Let's quickly see, where was that Phantom trade? So here was the Phantom trade. So we took it we got it just above a 25% price move without leverage, right? without leverage. So great trade over there, looking really good. All our other traders are in the group over here, dropping a lot of alpha. If you do want to join, you know where it is. The link's in the description below. I can see our Wall Street traders starting to look for short trades today already. So stock market probably going to take possibly another move towards the downside. That's it from me, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Again, use the below link if you do want to jump into whale school, which is later on today. The rest of you, I'll see you in whale room. Have a great day, everybody, and cheers for now.